from the heart attack. One maniac at a time, we will take it back. You know time crawls on when you're waiting for the song to start. So dance alone to the beat of your heart. Hey, young blood, doesn't it feel like our time is running out? I'm gonna change you like a remix, then I'll raise you like a phoenix. Wear it all vintage misery. No, I think it looked a little better on me. I'm gonna change you like a remix, then I'll raise you like a phoenix. Put on your war paint.
Hey guys, welcome back here once again. Race number 8 is about to go underway here at the Texas Motor Speedway to wrap up the weekend. Feels like it's been a few days, but we're back and ready to go racing here for race number 8 of the season here in the Mound Race Series. We're here for the run of the NRA 500 and have a couple of quick notes to have to address before this race begins. There will be driver replacements. They'll take place after this weekend series concludes. The Nationwide Series race is already over with. There's 2 rides going to be opening up in that series. Jack Rasmussen is being released from his ride, and Eric Burden asked for a release from his 22 car. So those 2 cars will be up for raffle within the next couple of days. And here in the Mountain Race Series, we also have 2 rides that are coming up that would be vacated for new drivers. And sadly, one of them is the longest tenure driver in the Mountain Dew Racing Series. Been here since, I think, day 1, and that is Callum Wells. He started on the outside of the front row in his final start in that 28 car. He's sporting GoPro this week, and what will be his last race of the season. We wish Callum Wells the best of luck. And you see him right there, alongside our pole sitter today, Alex Jones. Alex Jones driving the Cheerios colors this week. And going back to the other driver that's getting replaced is actually, ironically, the other Robert Yates Racing driver. That is the rookie Tony Vendetta, who's starting on the opposite end of the spectrum. And Tony Vendetta is also being replaced for not commenting. So this will be his final race as well. So basically, the 2 new drivers that are going to be getting in the Mountain Race Series will be teammates. So Robert Yates Racing overhauling their current roster and getting new drivers, and see what will happen. But we're going to go racing here. Race 8. Alex Jones on the pole. You see Callum Wells, James McLeod, Dom Capps, couple drivers all needing good runs. Jones came in here up in the point standings. He's actually 4th in the standings, so this is a big chance for him to gain a lot of points and gain ground on points leader Richard Johnson. So we're going to see what happens. Get ready for race number 8 here at Texas, and get ready to go green, get the grid, and get the engines fired up here. Get ready to go racing for 51 laps around Texas. And one last note, I had to turn off pit stops for this race because for some reason, once they started pitting, they pitted every single lap after that. I don't know why it does that at this track, but I had to turn it off. So it's probably going to be straight up 51 laps of racing, no pit stops. And we'll see if any wrecks or anything happen in the process. But we're ready to go racing here for the NRA 500. And get ready for the command. Fire the engines.
Just like I told these boys in the meeting, we don't need anything over the top today. We got a good race car, we got a good driver, we got a good
That's my usual luck.
All we got to do is
To not
everybody
get the
carry the weight.
command.
We'll be just fine at the end of this thing. 10-4.
Field is rolling by.
Now, bud.
And we're going to now take a look at the starting lineup for race 8 of Season 5 of the Mountain Race Series here at Texas. The NRA 500 starting grid is coming up next. There's a look at your grid for today's race. Right behind the Chevy Camaro pace car, Alex Jones in the 33, and Callum Wells in his final ride of the season will lead him down to the green flag here at Texas. Waiting for the green flag, and here we go. We're racing here at Texas. The NRA 500 is underway. And track precision could be a factor today. Qualifying well could keep you up front. Alex Jones, James McLeod, we're going to find that out pretty quickly. Seeing how early they're going to race it out. McLeod, this has not been the season James McLeod has been looking at having to back up his championship season. He's actually going straight for the lead. He's not wasting any time. Had a horrible race last week in Atlanta. Finished, I believe, 40th, a lap down. James is down at the bottom half of the championship standings. As Alex Jones leads the lap and gets the bonus point. And James is going for the lead. He slid up. The car just didn't get a grip off the corner. Here comes Dom Caps going for the lead. Trying to make it 3 wide. McLeod falls in behind Jones. So 3 wide for that is 4th place. Almost 4 wide. Callum Wells, Kurt Morchenick, Zohar Munn, and Daniel Hummel for a moment. Jack Richards right there in the middle of that situation. Go back a couple of cars, you see the Nationwide Series winner, Steven Gonzalez, now a 2-time winner in that series. He's so close. Ooh, he's so close to getting in that wreck right there with John Galligan. But Steven still looking for that first elusive Mountain Race Series victory. He got 2nd last week at Atlanta. Just couldn't run down John Dillon. He needed another lap, and I believe he would have been the winner. But he's in the middle of a sandwich right now between William Duncan and Galligan. And you see another Evernham car. They're all working their way toward the front. You see Jake Rogers right there. Oh, we're missing Silver Fox, who's a little bit further back. Here's Brian James driving a Mark Martin throwback scheme here at Texas. Valvoline, very nice looking car. There's last week's winner right there, John Dillon, and Steven Gonzalez is ironically trying to pass him, I believe, for 10th place. There's no love flash right there. You know, Gonzalez really wanted to win there. He's not going to really cut Dillon any slack right now. They're about to go 4 wide, look out. Right behind Dillon's teammate, Danny Wells. And they're still racing hard, baby. Now James McLeod got kicked to the very high side. Right now at this point, McLeod's just looking for a good run, just to try to get back up in the point standings. It's been a struggle, 36 in points. We got a battle for the lead. Dom Caps actually led that lap. And it's going around Jones. And look at Kurt Morchenick digging on the bottom, trying to make it 3 wide for the lead. Caps led the lap, but he wants to keep the lead. Caps is kind of another driver searching for a good run. Hadn't had the best of luck. Season, he almost won the Daytona 500, got wrecked. They went 4 wide for the lead, and that we saw the big wreck that changed everything. Caps was right in the middle of that. We haven't really talked about him since Daytona. Caps has kind of been mired around mid-pack. Would love to break through. This rookie's been looking for a lot of good runs, just not had the results to back him up. He's had a good few amount of qualifying runs, just hadn't had it for the race though. And they're going 3 wide for the lead. It's Callum Wells. Doesn't matter if it's his last race or not. He's driving out there like this is his first race. He can go race out there like nothing different. Callum would love to do well with a win. It is a sad day though. Callum Wells been here since day 1 basically, and just we're going to see what happens. Along with his teammate Tony Vendetta, we're actually going toward the back. And here's Michael Norman and Justin Perry back here racing hard, but not going anywhere. They're stuck in the back. Seth Cole is as well. He got a good run. He needs a couple of good more runs to get back up in the standings as well. There's Charles Jackson in the Bass Pro colors this week behind Liam Irving. Pichu London, 3rd in the standings, is mired back here as well. There's Tony Vendetta. He's not made much progress toward the front. Ryan Acosta right here, right behind Joseph Lombard, who's racing James Silverfox. I believe that is for the 33rd position, as they're now going under Cody Birmingham. A couple teammates, Aaron Williams Jr., Cody Lamas, Joshua Mudd right there in the 15. There's the Martinsville winner, Joshua Collard. He crossed the line last time by in the 28th position. There's Rhett Bell going after Andreas Allen, Dylan Young, Trent Dunham. Dunham quietly up there in the points. Actually, he's 20th. I guess I'm getting the series mixed up. Ooh, they're shuffling up here. Barney Ward just got way out of shape. Right behind Rohit Vaderview, or actually in front of him, I should say. There's Tim Fralick. He's last in the standings. Needs a good run. Jacob Lawler right there is possessed for just hit the wall. James Qualls is stuck in the middle in the 11 car. There's a little bit gap up here again to these drivers. There's Sean Henley, first week with Pizza Ranch on the car. He's working his way up toward the front. Henley had a bad race last week. He's 27th in the standings. William Duncan right there, 17th in the standings. A couple drivers needing to get some points made up. Those two battled it out right there, and they actually have almost similar cars. Two battled it out for the win at Phoenix, with Duncan coming on top there. And the points leader, Richard Johnson, has worked his way up into about the top dozen. He's right outside the top 10. He's actually trying to pass James McLeod on the high side. John Galligan thought about making it 3 wide, thought better of it. I believe that is for 11th, or actually that's for 12th. Galligan's now going to make it 3 wide. Jake Rogers, Steven Gonzalez racing side by side up ahead as Kurt Mortnick is taking the lead. There's Xavier Livingston. He's kind of been sneaking around up here, having some good runs lately in that 31 car. Haven't really talked about him much. Nationwide regular for the last couple of seasons, making his first season debut here in the Cup Series and the Mountain Race Series. He's up here running well right now in 7th place, right behind Zohar Mutton. And Zohar's teammate right behind them. Don Cap still hanging around the top 10. Jack Richards having a good run. There's John Dillon with his teammate Alex Jones, who started on the pole and stayed up there. There's 3 RCR cars right there. Actually, right there is Danny Wells. There's 4 of them right there in the top 9. So right now, RCR showing up. Penske is showing up. And it's all Evernham back there, so good run for them. As we got battle for second, 3 wide. Jack Richards under both Alex Jones and Kurt Mortnick, as Callum Wells is actually driving away. And you see a look at the field right here as the GoPro Ford Fusion out of Robert Yates Racing, Callum Wells, the Australian, leading here at Texas. Go back, look at the field once again, just to see if anything's going on. They're actually pretty much minding their manners right now. I did a few practice races here, try to figure everything out, try to test it because of the pit stop situation. Sometimes I'd practice it, they'd be clean, sometimes they would wreck it up. Right now, it looks like they're clean right now. Like I said, it just takes one mistake by one driver and half the field would be wiped out, how it goes here. Or sliding up like that, like Brian James just did. We got another 3 wide situation back here. This is for the about 8th position, I would say. Dom Caps is under attack from a couple of drivers that are hungry for a win. Jake Rogers and Danny Wells. And that 55 car on the outside of that 29, Steven Gonzalez. Gonzalez has a knack for running consistently in the Cup Series since he debuted 2 seasons ago. Almost won the championship, but Jack Richards stole it from him. He almost won it without even winning a race. Last season was also up there, stayed up there in points, just struggled in the chase, didn't compete really well. So Steven does have a lot to prove. He's 3rd different team in 3 seasons, but this, to him, feels like the winning team. Big fan of Mark Martin, Aaron's, Michael Waltrip Racing. Thought it was a good opportunity for him, so he moved over here. We'll see what they do. Jake Rogers, former champion, season 2 champion, in fact, back in the series again full-time this season. He kind of is driving for the same team he drove for last season, the All-Star race, except it wasn't the 9 car, it was the 10 car. They ran a 1 race deal for him in the All-Star race last season where he did run pretty well, kept the nose clean and brought it home in one piece. Jake's back here running full-time in the Cup and Nationwide series. Getting freight train right now. Jake looking to get back on track to try to win another championship, and right now by far the best championship battle in the history of the series back in season 2 with Cody Birmingham, who both ironically returned the same season. Very interesting there. We go back up toward the front. Callum Wells is under attack. His lead has been, I guess you say, just destroyed. It is gone as Alex Jones and Kurt Mortnick ran him back up and caught back up to him. Jones got a hecker run on the outside. Now we saw a crazy thing happen in the Nationwide race. Steven Gonzalez won the pole and actually won the race. Alex Jones hadn't really fallen out of the top probably 5 this whole race. And Jones, the pole sitter today, having a good shot at trying to get his first career win. Coming from a driver that only made his debut back in the 5th race of the season at Auto Club. So he's still fairly getting used to these cars. He did pick up the points from Sean Williams. That's one of the benefits of this, but for the drivers like whoever's replacing Callum Wells and Tony Vendetta will be starting at 0, unfortunately, but that's just how it goes since it was a 5-race rule. But like I said, Callum Wells driving everything that car is worth, trying to win the last race He is in that 28 car. He finally got in the car he wanted to get in. He's wanted to be in the 28 for a long time. He drove the 16 and the 6 for the last about 4 seasons. Here in the 6th, I think. I want to say twice, maybe 16, 2 seasons. Got a couple wins. Callum. Oh, did I just see smoke? I did see smoke. Somebody is wrecking in the back. Oh, and it's Tim Freilich. That kid cannot catch a break. Sean Henley's in it. Barney Ward. Seth Kohler in it. A couple of Tweenix racing cars. Jake Rogers is in it, running up in the top 10. I think he got turned. Justin Perry is involved. There's Liam Irving. They wrecked it. More up here. Joshua Collard. James Silverfox have wrecked. Oh, and they're wrecking up here. Cody Birmingham. James Qualls. Joshua Mudd. There's Ryan Acosta. He's in trouble. Red Bell, Trent Dunham are in it, and took a bunch of cars. Andreas Allen, he's in it. That was there goes, like I said, half the field, just like that. One wreck happened toward the front, and that just took half the field out. Pichu London, Joseph Lombard, and a couple others right here got through. Michael Norman, Liam Irving is slow on the apron. I don't know where that started, but the rest of the field continues on, and there goes a big chunk of the field after that wreck. As Alex Jones is taking the lead away from Callum Wells, Kurt Mortnick and Zohar Muddin's making his run at the front in that 12 car. Zohar, our winner last season at New Hampshire, didn't get a chance at all to compete for the chase last season. Ran really poor, about the bottom of the guys that actually were full-time drivers that didn't get replaced. He finished about 29th or 30th in points, I believe. Needs a good run. Would love to get a good run. 21st in the standings, right behind his brother Trent, who we saw was involved in the wreck. Man, look at this field just get caught up. This second little packer here just caught right back up to these guys. But we'll have to get ready and take a replay, or take a look at that replay and see what happened, as I believe the wreck started with the 9 car, Jake Rogers, who was running within the top 10 before that happened. We'll have to take a look at that and see what happened to him, and just see what exactly triggered that big wreck. This is within the top 15 right here. Sean Henley is battling between 2 Evernham cars. Actually, he's in pretty much a Evernham Motorsports triangle right here with the 9, the 10, and the 19. That's a bad place to be when you're in a Tweenix racing car. He's 3 wide between William Duncan and Jake Rogers up there in the 9 car on the high side of him. Henley going in there. He's clear of Duncan. Is he going to slide up into Jake, or is Jake going to come down? Ooh, it actually looks like Jake Rogers just got a little sideways and went down into Henley and caught him, and that's who we saw go around with Sean Henley. McLeod did a great job avoiding that. He about wrecked. And Barney Ward had nowhere to go. Gonna run right into him. James Qualls, Red Bell, there's Silver Fox. Dylan Young does a great job getting by. Trent Dunham's up high. Look at Pichu London, his teammate getting by. Trent, Silver Fox gets turned. There's Silver Fox getting turned right there by Andreas Allen. Joshua Collard had nowhere to go. Tried to follow Norman. Liam Irving ran the back of him. Here's Ryan Acosta. He got in the back of the 3 car. Gets a piece of the 44. We're actually going to rewind it again and see what else we might saw happen. Looking down here. Oh, there's a 17. Ran right in the back of Jake Rogers. That's been Tim Freilich's luck this season, that 17 car. Seth Cole right there. There's Justin Perry. He hits him. Seth Cole, who is he going to hit? He hit Barney Ward. Oh, he hits him head on. Wow. 52 runs right into Barney right there. Justin Perry, them wreck. You see Acosta's catch the 3 right there. He almost got through. There's Dunham. He gets through this part of the wreck. Something happens up here. Cody Lama's going through the grass, doing a great job avoiding Cody Birmingham. Joshua Mudd. Somebody's going to come up on the track. And I believe the 43 has something to do with this. Let's race on the apron. That is a smart idea. They got the momentum that's going to carry them up the track. I believe the 43 is actually going to slide up into the 15. 15's up on the track. Mudd did the right thing. Birmingham just ran into him. They're going to spin. Birmingham's going to back into the wall. That's Smithfield Ford. Here comes Cody Lama sneaking by as you see Mudd hitting the wall. Oh! Charles Jackson. Holy cow. Look at this 14 car. Look how close he got. Ooh, how did he not get hit? Wow. Charles Jackson did a great job avoiding that. There's Red Bell's damage. Trey must have gotten the wall or something. I know they rack up here again. Birmingham's trying to get going. Here comes Acosta. Mud is sliding down the track backwards. Acosta's going to run right in the back of Cody Birmingham. What the heck? I don't know if you did. How could you not miss that? Or how could you just run into the back car? You just right there. And there's where Mud's going to get his damage from the 16 sliding into him. Qualls is sneaking by. I don't really understand the logic on that 16 car doing that. But that was a carnage right there. With all those drivers. We'll update the field though and see what happens. And we'll take you back to live action now. As we have a good battle for the lead room between Callum Wells and Alex Jones and others. As we go back to live action here at Texas Motor Speedway. Alright guys, we are back. And the field is starting to shrink from the accidents. Drivers that have retired from the race include Red Bell, James Qualls, Joshua Collard, Liam Irvig, Tim Freilich, Seth Cole, Sean Hindley, Jake Rogers, Barney Ward, and Justin Perry are out of the race. Ryan Acosta is 4 laps down, along with Silver Fox, Birmingham, and then Andreas Allen. He is 2 laps down. Josh Mudd just 1 lap down. Trent Dunham, Charles Jackson, and others are still in the lead lap, barely. And these drivers will probably be dropping out of the race pretty soon. As we got a pretty big size lead, or I should say lead pack. First to 19th within 2.7 seconds, all the way back to Aaron Williams Jr. So there's a lot of drivers still up here battling for the win. As we're working lap 30 of 51, and points to Richard Johnson always seems to find his way back up toward the front. Solidly right now in the 8th position. He's been running really well for a rookie that's already won once this season. Won at Las Vegas, leading the point change. A great job so far this season for that 77 team for Penske Racing. Dom Capps is up there in 4th place. Zohar Mutton is in 2nd. Dylan Young had a great save, not getting that wreck earlier. He's running in 24th, but doing attaboy for that veteran, that 2-car, Jack Richards. Was he slowing down? Something is... I don't know what happened right there. That was weird. I thought he was coming to pit road for a second, so I changed the camera. Richard just had a moment right there and really held up that big pack behind him. No, Danny Weldon can't be happy as Galligan's trying to get under him. They're forward. Look at Kurt Mortonick. Settle this out really quick, and the points are right in the middle of that. Richard Johnson got on the wall. He's going to lose a ton of positions right there on the high side. And Xavier Livingston just got out of the groove. That's the 2nd time that's happened. I don't know what the heck that's all about. It hadn't happened all race. Heck, they're racing on the apron. I don't like that. And there's somebody on pit road. This is 78. Andreas Allen. And we got a battle for the lead room right now. Zohar Martin under Callum Wells for the race lead. He's got a fender to the inside of that 28. Couldn't get the run off the corner. That high side has a great run right now. Alex Jones going to try to take 2nd place back. He got them out of the line if that was the end of the race. And look who has snuck up to 4th place. And there's Steven Gonzalez once again up there. 8th in the standings. Works way into the top 10, I think, for the first time this season in the point standings. Gonzalez back where he's comfortable and usually at. And he's up here battling amongst the leaders. And Dom Capps hanging around 5th place. The top 5 have kind of separated themselves away from Jack Richards. There's Trent Dunham right here. Trent is right now running in the 27th position, last car on the lead lap. And all the other drivers that were set on pit road, that Cody Birmingham and James Silverfox, have retired from the race as well. Andreas Allen is 6 laps down. Joshua Mudd is 1 lap down. And here's the rest of the field. Charles Jackson, Cody Lamas, Dylan Young right here racing. Michael Norman, 2nd in the standings. Right now running in the 23rd position, right behind Joseph Lombard. And Tony Vendetta running 21st right now in his final start. Not getting up there where his teammates at right now. Would love to be, but just not having a good race today. P2 London right now running in 20th. 3rd in the standings. 6th in the standings, John Dillon right here. Definitely will pass Dylan Young probably for 5th in the points at this point. And possibly get around P2 London as he and Alex Jones are up there running up there at the front of the field along with Richard Johnson. John Dillon right now is actually in 19th. He might not, I don't know. He might get up there. He's right behind Rohit Bayerview and Aaron Williams battling for, I believe that's 17th. Yes, that is. Jacob Lawler having a good run right now in 16th in the Napa Brakes paint scheme this week. Running well. right behind Brian James, who's having another solid run in the top 15, right now in 15th, actually, I should say. Xavier Livingston, there's James McLeod, right now in 13th. He kind of fallen back off a little bit. There's the point series in 10th. Daniel Hummel having another good run in that 10 car, running in 9th. Danny Wells, Kurt Morchenick, Jack Richards. Right now, the top 5 are single file right now. As the race the laps are winding down. Zohar starting to peek to the inside of Alex Jones. I think everybody's getting tired of racing single file. Zohar makes the move to the inside. Now we have to see if he can have a car that can hang on the bottom and try to pass Jones. It's been a kind of a question mark getting that bottom working. He actually slid up behind him, and it really cost him his run. That allowed Steven Gonzalez in the 55 to close in on his back bumper for 3rd. But the top 2 right now have been about the best 2 drivers all day, Callum Wells and Alex Jones. They've been up there all race long. They look like they had the fastest cars today, but those Penske cars and that 55 car, that Toyota, they're all up there racing hard. Looks like Gonzalez is trying to surge up on the high side. Caps went low, and Gonzalez can get the run off the corner and stay in front of him. Zohar Martin is still trying to get around Alex Jones. That's allowing Callum Wells to pull away. And again, the irony right now of how Callum Wells is doing so well in his last race. It's just astonishing. Looking through the field again, nothing's really going on. Everybody's basically getting single file at this point. Got a couple of races here and there. But the passing's been kind of hard and stuff for them to do. Danny Wells has been trying to get Kurt Morchenick for 7th for about the last couple of laps. But this pack is actually caught back up here. Jack Richards and them have all back up here once again. Danny's actually going after Kurt now. Gotten a door to the inside of him. He's gotten up to his fender. Now we'll see if he actually can do anything in the corner. I don't think he will. He's actually going to slide up, and Daniel Hummel is going to try to go after that position now. But once the pack starts coming back together, it's interesting what happens. We got a good bird's eye view as Alex Jones is pulling to the inside of Callum Wells. The thing it is, though, is just that high side just gets a great run off the corners. It's almost impossible to make a move right now, I guess, at this point in the race. We're under 10 laps to go. And it's about to be go time. As Zohar Martin, man, he got a huge run on Alex Jones. He's actually going to pass him on the bottom, and Zohar Martin is up to 2nd. He has to clear him, though. He's going to go in the corner. He has to make sure he gets around the 33. He does. Jones is way out of the groove right now. He's going to lose a couple of positions. And now move the 12 car up to P number 2. Let's see now what happened to him. And Steven Gonzalez, I mean, he's trying so hard. Man, he might have got bumped right there from Dom Capps. I'm not sure. Really really hurt the 22 more than anybody. And Alex Jones is fighting hard back on the outside to try to at least keep the 3rd position. Gonzalez drives in there hard. And look at the race we got behind them. Kurt Morchenick's on right under Jack Richards and going after Dom Capps now. As if somebody just scraped the wall. It might have been the 81 car. Danny Wells got hung in behind him. We still got a 3-wide battle for 3rd. Dom Capps backs out of it now, but Steve Gonzalez is still trying to clear that 33 car. Still fighting hard on the high side. And Zohar Martin's really pulled away, along with Callum Wells. It's a 3-wide once again. Daniel Hummel way up the track. He hits the wall. Danny Wells is going to go by, so is points leader Richard Johnson. Here comes Sean Galligan. Oh, and Danny Wells on the apron doing that stupid thing again. Don't know why the heck he does that. That's going to hurt everybody right there. I don't know why in the world they do this. When they go 3 wide, going in that corner, somebody backs out and hits the apron. And unfortunately it was Danny. Really held up everybody behind him. That's nothing we can do about that. Richard Johnson starting to try to make some moves. Oh, his teammate Dom Capps just smacked the wall. And now Richard Johnson's going to do that thing, of course. He's about to call that. Again, don't know why they do that. But it's a mystery at Texas Motor Speedway, I guess. Callum Wells, Zohar Martin, Steve Gonzalez, Alex Jones, Kurt Morchenick, and Dom Capps, the top 6, have broken away from the rest of the field. Might come down between these drivers. Zohar maybe trying to set up Callum Wells, who's in his final race, like I've documented 1,001 times in this race. I'm trying to recall right now the last time Callum went to victory lane. I can't think of the top of my head which race it would be. But his thoughts right now, he's 3 laps away from going to victory lane. His last one would be at Texas in season 5. But until next season, if he comes back or whatever. But this could be his last race. He wants to go out with a bang. He's been leading for a majority of this race after starting on the outside of the front row. That 28 car's been fast today. Looking through field, nothing else has been going on. Everybody's kind of stayed in touch and where they're at. But the battle for the lead is brewing right now. It is heating up. Zohar Martin's starting to make some looks at the 28 car. Can't get anything going. What we saw was Zohar trying to get Alex Jones. It took him about 5 laps to get around him. He only has one more lap to try to get him. And Steven Gonzalez and Alex Jones are not going to wait on that. The white flag's in the air for Callum Wells as they're coming up on Trent Dunham, who's a little bit off the pace. Could he play a factor in the finish of this race? As Steve Gonzalez is going for second on Zohar Martin. He cannot clear him though. There's Trent and Steven. Oh, and Zohar hits the wall. But Steven's still not clear of him. Callum Wells is going away, and Steven does not like this look at this storybook. It looks like a redo and deja vu of last week. At their 3 wide for second, Callum Wells is going to come out here, and he's going to go out of the Mountain Dew Series with a bang and going out with a win. Callum Wells takes the NRA 500 here at Texas Motor Speedway and wins his first race of the season, and sadly his final race as well. And what could be a very emotional finish, an emotional race, an emotional driver for that driver of the team. Callum Wells is going out with a win here in the Mountain Dew Series in his farewell race. That 28 car is bad fast today. Callum Wells is going to victory lane in his final race here in the Mountain Dew Racing Series. A big win, and congrats to Callum Wells on that. I'm going to export this. It is sad, but you know how things go about commenting now these days. That's one way to go out though. Callum getting the win. Congrats to him and the whole 28 Robbie Yates Racing team. Big day for them. It's going to be a lot to fill in those shoes now for that team after them winning now. It's going to be a lot of pressure probably on the new driver, whoever gets that 28 car. Callum Wells, the outside poster, dominated today, wins the race, and going to victory lane here at Texas Motor Speedway. His first win of the season. I don't know what it is for his career at the moment, but big win for him. And congrats again. Steve Gonzalez, 2 weeks in a row, the bridesmaid once again. He got Zohar for second right there at the end. Just couldn't get a run at Callum Wells. He will finish second for the second week in a row. That's a heartbreaker. And Cody Lamas just smashed his 48 car. I don't know what that was about. I'm actually going to look at it right here. I think they just smashed coming into pit road. Oh, they had to have. Oh. John Dillon got wrecked under the cool-down lap. Tony Vendetta ran him over. I don't know what that was about. And then Cody Long just ran at the back of Michael Norman. So much for having a clean car going home. Yeah, that's what happened there, though. Zohar Martin, good run for him in third. Alex Jones, a pole sitter, gets a 4th place finish, will help him in the standings. Kurt Mortonic trying to work his way back into the top 10. He actually came in at 11th. That should help him out. And Callum Wells is actually 10th right in front of him, so that's a tough break for Callum, who's going to be going out. He was actually up in the point standings. But Kurt should be in the top 10 definitely now. Dom Capps finishes 6th. You see Richard Johnson in 7th. Jack Richards 8th. Daniel Hummel 9th. And Sean Gallagher rounds out the top 10. You got William Duncan, Brian James, Danny Wells, James McLeod, Jacob Lowry top 15. Followed by Xavier Livingston, Rohit Vaderview, Aaron Williams Jr., John Dillon, last week's winner, and Tony Vendetta in his final race will finish 20th. Still has to be happy for his teammate Callum for winning the race. So still going to be a celebration for these drivers as they go their separate ways from the Mountain Dew Race Series after this race. Joseph Lombard will end up 21st, Petrie London 22nd, Michael Norman 23rd, Cody Lamas 24th, Dylan Young, who came in 5th in the standings, would end up 25th. Not that he was looking for that 2 car, but his teammates all running well and challenging for the win. Charles Jackson, Trent Dunham were the last 2 cars in the lead lap. Then you got Joshua Mudd and Andreas Allen, who also finished on the track but multiple laps down from the wreck. And the drivers, I should say the victims that were taken from the race, or taken out of the race earlier on from the big wreck, include Red Bell, Cody Birmingham, James Silverfox, James Qualls, Joshua Collard, Ryan Acosta, Liam Irvig, Tim Freilich, Seth Cole, Sean Henley, Jake Rogers, Barney Ward, and Justin Perry all failed to finish today's race here at Texas. But race 8 is in the books. I hope you guys enjoyed today's race. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that like we usually need to do to keep up in the series and all that. And thanks again for watching, guys. Watching the NRA 500 here in the Mountain Race Series. I'll see you guys for the next race. And stay tuned for the series and those replacements coming up soon here on my channel. Thanks for watching.